Okie dokie. Welcome to the Funked in the Head podcast. Today we have Mark Hilditch from Hilditch Guitars. So do you want to start off by telling us about
that? Yeah. What do we want to know? Where do we start?
Let's start at the beginning.
Okay. Right. Well, all right. The very, very beginning actually starts when I was 15-ish, way back when. So I built my very first one in school for technology project at GCSE. So I had an old, I think it was a Honer Strat copy thing, and it disintegrated. I decided that I wanted a new one, but at the time I fancied myself as a bit of a metal kid, so I really wanted a BC Rich Warlock. And I figured there was no way I was ever going to get my mum to buy me one of them, because it's a mad shape and weren't particularly cheap. So I decided I'd sort of coerce it into buying all the parts for me to build what I wanted, disguised as a GCSE project. I had no intention. The GCSE side was not a care. I had no intentions of doing sort of. Well, in fact, I didn't do any coursework. I didn't lose any marks on the practical side, but I ended up with a D overall because I did no coursework for it. I just built a guitar. So yeah, so that was the first one. Actually in the cupboard over there somewhere. I've still got it now. I played it at my own wedding 2 years ago. Yeah, my own band did a little set at my own wedding and played that very guitar. So yeah, my mum was pretty pleased that I still got it. Yeah, that was the beginning of it. And then discovered cars after that. So music kind of got put on the back burner whilst I did through boy racer phase. But yeah, and then sort of did another one. It was about 6 years ago, I think now, 6 or 7 years ago, just for something to do when I was on Christmas break from work. So designed another one. And then from then it just kind of music picked up and started snowballing again. I was actually thinking, I do quite miss guitars. Got them all out of the loft again, started playing a bit more, and then thought, a few people have said, they look cool, you should make them and all that. I was like, well, is it for me? Is it something I can do? And then I changed jobs a couple of years ago again into a handcrafted fine furniture company. And so then I had access to like top of the range machinery and very nice woods, and I thought this would just be, well, what's that phrase? Never look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah.
So I thought, and then we are now.
Well, that's amazing. Like everything fell into place.
Kind of, yeah. It's like all the stars aligned over the past few years. So yeah.
And what's the process like for making a guitar? Is it like quite difficult? I mean, obviously, I'm not a woodworker, so I couldn't do it, but
yeah, it depends. It depends how you get up. The dogs come over here now for a bit. Got my hand in, and obviously my hand's just decided that I've got to stroke it. Yeah, so yeah, really, if you're no good at doing woodwork, then obviously it's a very difficult process. I don't want to say I find it easy, because it probably sounds quite arrogant, you know what I mean? But it comes naturally. I've always tinkered with wood anyway. Like technology was sort of my favourite subject at school. And I'd always, like, I tinkered at weekends. I think it's probably down to my granddad, because he used to do all sorts of, make benches and bird feeders for all the family, made us put toys out of wood when we were kids and things like that. So I think it probably stems from that. I've always had a keen interest in it. So yeah, start with your woods, Well, it depends really. For me, certain aspects for me will trigger a design in my head. So it could be anything. It could even one of the guitars that I built was just one that was following an Instagram post. So these pickups he'd made with a sort of distressed copper cover, and from that I then imagined the whole guitar, every single element, what it'd be like straight away in my head. I was like, right, I know where this is going just from the pickup. So there'd be certain things that be that sort of foresight. So yeah, once you know where you're going, then you can pick your wood, the sort of sound that you want from the tone wood, the bottom wood, the neck, the look and the feel. And obviously different woods sort of lend themselves to different kind of sounds and style. So yeah, I could probably go into detail and boy on every step how to build one, but yeah, fundamentally, yeah, you get your idea, plan it out. For me, I would start with the neck, get the neck made, and then you can obviously use your neck heel to sort of make the template for the neck pocket and the get that nice and tight. Then you'll make the body, yeah, and it, paint it, stain it, whatever, play it, thrash it around. One of the best plates for him. Yeah, well, I'm actually quite delicate with them, so I've got one of my best mates who gets every single one first. He always has first go because he just abuses them, and he'll tell me exactly, where I've gone wrong or where I've gone right. So yeah, that's.
So is it like, forgive my ignorance a little bit, but is the type of wood and stuff really important on sound?
Depends who you speak to. Right, oh god, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot massively here and say I am not a huge believer in the tone wood debate.
Maybe that's why I've never heard of it.
Yeah, yeah. So, some people think it's absolutely imperative. I no, unless you're playing it unplugged, you will notice the difference. As soon as you plug it in, 95% of it comes from the pickups. You can have more effect on changing the pickups or the control, the volume and tone. Get different. The volume and tone are like a variable resistor, so you get different values of that, which will alter the way a pickup behaves or the way the sound from the output of the pickup behaves. So there's a lot more electrical factors that change it. And just electric guitar.
Well, that's what I thought. It being electric, it would be the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like I say, unplugged, you can tell the difference. And when it comes to acoustic, of course, then acoustic guitar, there is a big difference. The point of it is that it's its own sound. So yeah, that I can get on board with that. Electric solid body. It probably does make a difference, but I would have said not that's audible by the human ear. Maybe I should ask my dog and see what he thinks,
Yeah.
Hear the difference, but yeah, there you go. Now, some people are massive believers, and you see it all the time on guitar groups on Facebook. At least once a week, usually on a Friday evening when no one's got anything better to do at the minute, the debate comes up, massive argument ensues. What, really?
Wow. I must admit, I've never heard, not for an electric, I've never heard that. That's why it surprised me when you just said it. Like, oh.
Yeah, I know.
So do people contact you to make them, and do they have a design in mind, or do they rely on your imagination more?
It can be a bit of both, to be honest. I haven't actually had anybody come to me with their own shape design. People have approached me with can you do a Telecaster, a Jazzmaster, a Strat, or anything? All the normal boring stuff. But yeah, I've not actually had anybody come with their own shape, but they have an idea of the pickups and the controls and the hardware and stuff, what we want it to, and colour, inlays as well. So things like that. I've got this. That took me longer than I thought, didn't it, to get one out on camera? So this one.
I'm up in the background.
Obviously, there is actually. I've got a mirror here as well that you can sort of just see the bottom corner of. I was quite disappointed I couldn't get the whole thing on. It's got my logo, big massive mirror with my logo across it. But you know, anyway, yeah. So this one is. So this is a signature. Going to be a signature build for a band called. Sort of emerging rock band right up my street. Really good as well. Yeah, so this is. It has the. There we go. Get fancy. So that is the inlay, which can also be seen on my Facebook, and Instagram, and everything. And that is their logo. So,
right, okay.
he, you know, so we got talking, and he said, you know, I love that guitar, blah 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 blah. So this is going to be have a gloss white front, through neck. So you can see there the neck on the back there is all. It's not obviously one piece. It's multiple. It's effectively what straight through one piece with these mahogany wings glued on the side. This is going to be gloss white top with. He has this thing. So he's got a white Explorer, and he got a big like a kissing lips sticker, slapped it on it. And I want to keep that. I want that to be my signature. So I was like, yeah, no problem. I'm gonna have sort of around this area a lip print in red. So we're gonna stain that red and then cover it with the lip print white, so that you'll have all these different woods showing through as a stained red lip print, and then the solid white paint around it, and then the back natural, probably gloss finish. So yeah, obviously he said that's what he wanted, that logo. He said, "Can you do that?" I said, "Yeah, of course I can."
It's nice that one, isn't it?
But I did say to him, the only stipulation I have from my part is it's going to be one of my shapes. That sort of endorsement thing, isn't it? His signature. But me
Your mark on it.
Exactly that sort of title. So yeah. But yeah, the other ones I've got there are just what's come out of my bizarre brain. So yeah. What we got?
Do you have a favorite?
Yes, that one. Yeah, I don't know. That's like asking me to pick my favorite child.
That's what I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I mean they're all sort of great in their own different ways. This one. This one is solid wood.
Wow.
So they're all individual squares of walnut and maple.
Oh, no way.
But I didn't make them as squares though. There's a trick of the trade for doing that. But yeah, they're all. It's not the veneer or anything. It is all solid.
Cool.
Multi-piece neck again, maple and walnut. So yeah, there's a chap up in Scotland who makes cables, and he really, really likes it. So I keep trying to work on him to make him buy it. Keep teasing him with it because it's just that. So, this one was inspired by my youngest when we were in B&Q. Well, actually, I'll tell you, yeah. Well, the paint was inspired by her anyway in B&Q, and she said I had to make a sparkly pink guitar. Basically. Yeah. And there on the shelf was, I think it's Rust-Oleum sparkly rose gold they call it. Like, right, well, there's the colour sorting. And it's a genuine carbon fibre scratch plate. I don't know how well that shows up.
Oh, it is now. That's it.
So again, this is another one that was built off one element. It was when was it now? The Rugby World Cup final day. I was going watching it with my uncle and my cousin, and I was met them at their house in the morning, and they on the table at the side, they'd got these little carbon fibre coasters. I said, "Oh, where have you had them from?" "Oh yeah, I've got a mate who does it, and CNC and whatnot." And I just did them, just a few little gifts for people. Like, that'd look so cool on a guitar. Like, as a scratch plate, that'd be mint. He's like, "Well, get me a template and I'll get one made up for you." Like, I did, got the scratch plate made. I was like, right, now I need a guitar for it. So
You built around that.
Carbon is black. What goes with black? Pink. So I was like, right, fine, there we go. So that's how that came about. Yeah.
That's awesome, and my daughter would love that.
Yeah, yeah. I know that when I made it, the wife said, "I want to learn guitar." Why is that? Because I want the pink one. Fair enough. So yeah, and this one, I have to stand up. This is the latest one that was finished.
Oh, look at the colour on that.
Yeah. So again, this came just from the piece of ash for the body.
Yeah, you can see the wood through it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just a stain with the sort of burst stain, and then it's matte lacquer finish. But yeah, I just saw the piece of wood on eBay actually. I thought I like that because it's got this. There's actually some form of themes. Got that in it, and then it's got this sort of flame pattern down here. I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know, I suppose the posh word is toyance or something like that. So I mean, most people are familiar with flame maple, where you get that sort of ripple, almost like holographic when you move it. Similar sort of thing. And then it just had like cool sort of grain pattern on it. There's actually bits of bark that are still on it in areas, like this corner here. Looks like it's been chewed, but it's actually just the edge of the wood, the bark on it, like a live edge. So there's bits like that, a bit more bark on the bottom and stuff. So, and it's got the chatoyance on the back as well. Another crazy pattern.
Yeah, you can see that.
So it's just a cool piece of wood. So I got it. I was like, yeah, that looked cool. It's got all these splits in it as well. Let me see if we can get this on. Down here, there's like little splits that are running along it. I just thought, all those elements together would be cool. It sort of looks like it's on fire. When you see it in person, it sort of looks like it's on fire along this edge. So I was like, that looked pretty cool with like an orange red burst on it, to sort of give the flame. So again, that was another one that came. The whole thing just came from that one thing. I saw the piece of wood, saw what would look nice with it, and built it from there. And it just so happened that one of the blokes at work had some Duke, which is like a red wood. Offcuts. So I actually traded him an offcut of the ash, because this side here came down to a massive hollowed out part, big lump here, massive hollow where it'd been like a split on the tree. So I swapped him that because it was a bit too diseased to use. He wanted it for a garden ornament. Go figure.
Fair enough. Gonna get used.
He swapped that. Yeah, exactly. So he swapped that for the Duke. I was like, yeah, that'll do for me because it'll look cool with it, with the red theme. And then I made the inlay there as well.
Oh, amazing.
Lightning bolt. So this shape actually, I've called the Thunderbolt. And it's actually this is the shape that I made in the school back in the GCSE guitar, very first one. This was the shape that I designed. So yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and actually, someone on Instagram, when I put a picture on the other day, he actually commented saying it's morphing time. Guys, made me laugh because I looked at the lightning bolt. I was like, yeah, it does actually look like the Power Rangers lightning bolt. So But then again, there's another inspiration for a guitar. Let's make a Power Ranger.
I used to love Power Rangers.
So did I. The original ones, of course.
Yeah, the original ones.
Yeah. So the only problem I've got with the pink one and the red one is put them all together, and I can't actually remember what the serial numbers for each of them are.
Oh.
So luckily they're only bolt on neck, so yeah, it's not a massive hardship to pull apart. So I normally do like a certificate of authenticity with the woods described in it, the pickups that are in it, the controls, the colour, finish, serial number, and then sign it, just to give a bit of authenticity, I suppose.
That's cool.
So
People like that, don't they?
Yeah, it's a nice little touch. So yeah, I need to do it for both of them too. It means pulling them apart. I can't remember whether it's one of them's 007.
Yes.
I can't remember which one. I can't remember which one. So yeah, that's something I've got to do at some point. What else? This one here is a keeper. This is mine.
Wow.
So this was the first through neck that I made. Again, just one piece of walnut straight away through. Even the headstock, the angle on that, it's not a joint, it's out of the same beat.
Oh wow.
Which is, some people see it as a bit risque because everyone's familiar with the Gibson headstock. Because they do the same thing for the necks, one piece of mahogany, and then just put it all away and angle it. But
yeah,
that's why I've put this little volute on the back. You can see it there.
Yeah,
So it's down. So it just keeps that the point where the angle breaks back. It just keeps that bit of extra thickness for it. It's comfier as well in your hand. So I've done it on more, all apart from the chessboard. I think I've got one. Just a bit comfy, when you're playing chords down at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's in nicely. But yeah, walnut through neck with elm wings. P90s. I'll probably change one day actually. They were a bit cheap. I can't remember what they are, but they're not the best. It's a bit weak on the bridge, so I think I'll get some. Well, I've been saying for a couple of years now that we're going to get something nice for it, but maybe one day I will. Yeah, one day I will. So yeah, and then another hand carved inlay there.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
All the way up. Which was quite difficult to play at first because I'd never played without any form of marker. So there was nothing on there. I didn't put any along the top edge. And yeah, when I was at rehearsals in the band, I was way off most of the time. So did one session with it and then went home and actually just put some cocktail sticks in. I don't know, you might be able to see there.
The light shining. Oh yeah. No, you can.
Sort of
yeah. I don't know why I'm like ducking my head to try and see.
No, yeah. Well, I've got a little tiny, I don't know, for those who've never been on Zoom, there's a little tiny sort of 1/2-inch square box at the top that I've got to see what I'm doing. So.
Oh, you can change that, but.
Oh, can I? Don't confuse me.
Okay, I will.
Maybe I'll practice on for next time.
So, how long on average does it take you then to make one?
Well, at the minute it's sort of 3 or 4 months because I'm still working full time as well. So this is like a side hobby business thing. I don't know. Yeah, for 3 or 4 months. Yeah. Pretty much.
So, yeah, that's it, 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, exactly. suppose if I was doing it full time, it'd be quicker. But you've still got, depending on the finish, if it's lost nitro, you obviously, well, any nitro got curing time. I mean, it'll dry in a couple of days, but it's still, I don't know what the word is, sort of flashes off all the stuff, all the nasty stuff that makes it really good, keeps evaporating over time. So you've got to give it sort of 3 or 4 weeks before it's hard enough to be handled, polished. So you still got that time, and then buffing it up, a few days work or whatever. So, yeah, and I suppose it depends how intricate, if you've got any work, inlays and stuff like that, how sort of intricate they are. That can, and I do try and do most of it by hand anyway, so that sort of puts a bit more time on it, getting that handmade touch, really,
Yeah.
which is what I want to go for.
Well, it adds to it though, doesn't it, I think?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Not
not
many
just,
stuff that's handmade nowadays.
yeah, that's it. It's not just run off a computer. It's, someone's taken the time. I've made all templates for all of the shapes myself, all my own shapes. So I've had to make all the templates from scratch for the necks and for the body. So even like control cavities, I had to make all templates for them to make sure the covers and the cavity get a nice fit together. So yeah, can't just get it made or buy it from somewhere.
No. It's good though. It's good. It makes them unique as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I guarantee that even like the same models that I've done won't be the same. Like these two are both like my Raptors name, Raptor for that model, different. Even the two bodies. In fact, they are different because these are rounded off the corners more. Yeah. That chessboard one comes to a point, which obviously is a sort of R&D aspect, quite hard to keep a sharp point. So I decided, if we start rounding it off a bit, it's better obviously paint and finish as well. You're not going to have a thin point where it could wear through and cause damage. So it's all these sort of evolution of each model as you go along. But yeah, like I said, yeah, no two of them would be the same, even though they obviously aren't the same to look at. If you sort of measured the bodies, they'll be totally different as well. So yeah, I feel as though I should get this one out here. Actually, it's the only one I've not shown yet, isn't it?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. So that's the case as well. I started making my own cases. Again, because of the crazy shapes, crazy nature of the shapes. Can't actually, difficult to get a case off the shelf or fit. So I figured I'd have to make my own. Okay. I'd forgot about this without looking at it. This might be my favourite as well. So this one, these are the copper pickups that I said about earlier on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So this whole thing was built off them. So it is quarter sawn oak. Now, oak has really nice figuring, and I'm not going to be able to do it any justice at all here with it. Like,
you can occasionally see it when the light bounces off.
Yeah, they have like sort of little rays and ripples in it. Obviously, all this is a bit, you can see it all on my Instagram and Facebook and everything. But it's got this, there's a big hole there in the middle, which was from a knot.
Yeah.
In between the pickups. And then it's got these either side of the neck. There's one there and one above it as well.
Oh yeah.
So I thought they look cool. Other cool elements, a bit of nature of wood in there. Copper and brass inlay.
I like that. It's very rock in it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Carried on the theme. That's on the 12th fret. So There we go. So we've got a disc of brass there with a ring of copper around it. He's actually used a bit of copper pipe for that.
Oh no way.
Yeah. Brass nut. And then it's a Iroko neck, which again is like a, let me see if you can get a decent colour. It's like a copper brassy brown coloured wood. So, you know, again, it just fitted in with it. Then copper covers on the back.
That is awesome.
So, you know, there's a massive copper theme going on, but you know, like I say, it came from pickups, I saw the pickups, and straight away I was like, yeah, I can see that on a black guitar with, you know, copper and brass inlays, yada 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 yada. Came across the neck. I was like, yeah, ideal. So, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And how often do you actually play these?
Not as much as I'd like, because normally I'm out building them. But, you know, it'll be horses for courses and all that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do spend quite a lot of my free time out in the shed putting them together. So I've got that on the go. I've got just joined in this great guitar build-off competition.
Right.
So that started last year. There's a chap called Ben Crow who has a company called Crimson Guitars, which, you know, he started off, you know, same sort of thing, making them in his shed, and now he's got a big company, production line and whatnot. So it was when the first lockdown started last year, he decided to get, was it five or so YouTube guitar builders from America as well, and got them all together. Said, look, let's do this, a guitar build off for something to do for in lockdown type thing, and let's make some money for charity.
Yeah.
So they all built a guitar, auctioned them off by a certain, you know, there was a completion date. Then they went into auction. They said, whoever gets the highest bid is declared the winner, and decide which charity your money's going to. But then loads of people joined in, like unofficially. It became a thing on Instagram and Facebook, people making their own guitars, either from a kit or from scratch, using obviously the hashtags of the Great Guitar Build Off. And it developed and became its own unofficial competition. So this year it's decided to do it as an official competition, and pay to enter. You've got a scratch build or a kit build, and your entrance fee obviously goes into admin, and he's set up a charity for people who want to build guitars but can't afford to get into it. So you can apply to the charity basically, and you can get like a kit or some tools or whatever, help you realise your dream of building guitars basically. So I just thought it'd be something cool to get on board.
Yeah, definitely. And is
So
it like, are they all going to auction, or are people going to vote, or how's it going to work?
So yeah, so they're doing the invitational YouTube one again, and then obviously people like myself can enter the scratch build one. Yeah, so it goes, you vote via the website, the Guitar Build Off website. So we've got to have it finished and a video and 5 pictures submitted by the 30th of June. And then it's anyone, I think any general public can vote on the website over sort of 5 days. Then on the 5th of July, the top 10 get submitted to a panel of judges, and then the winner is from those 10, basically.
That's cool.
So, yeah. I just thought it was something cool to get involved in, really.
Definitely. Be
And it's
interesting.
another excuse to build a guitar.
You don't need an excuse.
Well, I know, I suppose you're right. It justifies building another one.
Right, that's fair. So if random question, if money was no object for you,
Yeah.
what guitar would you have? Would you make one or would you buy one?
Well, both.
I should have said you can only have one.
All right. It's a very good question, actually. Well, if I was being boring and mundane, I'd say it'd be a late 60s SG. Cherry red, obviously. But I think I'd probably still build one, to be honest. I've always wanted an SG as well. And then a couple of years ago, I came across an Epiphone one down the road from me, 100 quid, and it's mega. So that scratch is, well, that itch really has been scrapped. Those, you know, if I had loads of money, I'd just have a 60s SG, hell of it, really. But yeah, I've no massive desire to save up for one now anymore. Put it that way. And that you know, that problem was solved with a 100 quid thing off eBay. So you know, yeah, I'd build it. I'd build something.
Build one. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Wow, something mad. Maybe like 24-carat gold plated or something. You know, we go wild.
Yeah. Well, if money was no object, why not?
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, like gold plated everything now, don't it?
Oh god, yeah. I saw it on something. There's a company that does it. You know, you can get like a gold-plated, diamond encrusted bike and all this stuff. You know, pedal.
Everything. Your phone, you can get gold.
Yeah, yeah. So like gold-plated phone case.
I just smashed mine on the floor. It'd be no good for me.
Yeah, you'd have to have it diamond encrusted, and then you'd stand a chance.
Yeah. I watched a documentary about somebody that had, I think it was their Rolls Royce diamond encrusted with Swarovski.
Wow. Yeah, I bet that costs more than it costs to buy the rolls, and they're not cheap.
It did.
Wow, some people literally have more money than sense.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. This time next year, Rodney will be millionaires.
That's what I've said every year for the past 10 years.
Yeah, I know. I keep telling everyone that. Speak to the right guitars this time next year. Yeah.
You'll get there eventually, though.
I hope so.
That's that goes in.
Yeah. Well, the end goal is to do it full time. But shh, don't tell work.
Speaking of work, have you obviously with COVID and stuff, have you been affected anyway?
Yes and no, actually. In the past 12 months, I've been employed, furloughed, and self-employed. Yeah, it's been a crazy trip. So, yeah, I went on to furlough start of April last year due to the lockdown. I was given the choice actually by work, but at the time, kids, my wife's heavily asthmatic, and obviously everything was up in the air. I was a bit not blasé, but not panicking. I don't panic about much. All easy going. It's like, well, I'll take it as it comes, kind of thing. And it was actually when I think it was the first. Was it the first nurse maybe, or 21 who died due to COVID? And that was the point. I was like, actually, if people that young who are supposedly young and healthy are being affected as well, maybe I should take it a bit seriously. So, where it gave me the option, and I said, no, I'll take furlough. And then which is where I built quite a few guitars actually. But then, you know, I like to keep busy. I like to do things. So I started building. I built a garden bar for some friends across the road, which was just a glorified shed, really. Yeah. Well, she messaged me. She was like, "Can you do anything like this, or is it a bit too advanced for you?" I was like, "Well, I'll give it a go. Yeah, why not?" Make the most of it. And then one of her best friends, is actually the director of a company who make under-framed round houses. So sort of like glamping pods, garden offices, granny flats, all timber, eco buildings, round, whatnot. So you know, they were looking to expand actually. Ironically, during the lockdown, they were going mad. Obviously, construction was unaffected. So there's a small team. So I was like, yeah, got put in touch, went for a meeting and everything, and then it sort of just became the new job type thing. But they have a small team in the factory that make them all. They come in modular panels, so you can get the walls in sort of sections, the floors in sections, shipped to site, and then you just put it all together, do the inside, make it look pretty on the outside, fit windows and doors, that kind of thing. So it's a small team of fitters on site. So it's sort of like self-contained, almost self-isolating, if that makes sense. Because we'd go, 3 or 4 of us, we book out an Airbnb house for the duration of the job period. It's up and down the country. So I've been in the past sort of June I joined them. Past 6 months for Christmas, I've been out at Hebrides for a job. I've been to Pembrokeshire. I've been down to Slough. I've been to Bournemouth, Leicester, Nottinghamshire. So you know, I've been all over the country installing these buildings. So yeah, we get an Airbnb house between us for the duration of the job, and then you know, have a few days off and then go again. So yeah, there's a lot of staying away, which I wasn't sure how I'd take it at first, but actually you get quite used to it. And I think the missus was glad of the time away from me. I think she was glad to get rid. She's been asking me actually since Christmas when I'm going again. So yeah. So yeah, that's what I was doing then.
So it's quite lucky for you then, getting to travel round.
I know, yeah. I've had a great time. I say, see some right nice places and being paid to do it as well. And when it's a job you really enjoy, obviously it's win-win.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah.
I mean, I enjoy doing this, but I'd love to travel all up and down.
Yeah, imagine traveling up and down and doing that. Ideal.
There's literally our interview room here is actually my daughter's playroom as well.
Fair enough.
So, you know.
I'm in the front room. You should see it from my point of view. I've got a little footstool, well, a little poof here, whatever you call them, with a table on top of that and a laptop on the table, so I could get a good angle of everything.
The dog doesn't come in and knock it all down.
I know, yeah, he's as tall as I. He's a German Shepherd we've got, so he is not very delicate at all.
Lovely. We've got a little yappy dog. So, what was I going to say then? I've lost my train of thought now. You said you played in bands and stuff before.
Yep.
Any plans to play music again?
I don't know, because it was nothing really serious came from it. We struggled to find singers for a while actually, and then we found a singer, and then the drummer left, and then we found a drummer, and then the singer moved down to Cambridge, and then we couldn't find a singer again, and then the world shut down. So
that's on the back burner
then. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I think it more just became something to do on a Saturday morning. The venue where we used to rehearse, they closed the notice well, it was a WI hall. So you know, it's all how do I elderly ladies that use it. So I don't want to sound rude, but you know what I mean.
Certain type of person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, they're shut indefinitely. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's I'd say on the back burner, but yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And so for your guitars and that, where's the best place for people to get in touch with you?
Anywhere they see me. So Facebook, obviously. I've got a page on Facebook, which was the first place that I started showing them, to be honest. And I think it's, I don't know, you search Hilditch Guitar. I think that's facebook.com/Hilditch Guitar or whatever. No, I'm not too sure on all this technology stuff. Instagram as well, we're on there. That's actually really easy because I've got an app on my phone, so I can do that dead easy with pictures. That's dead simple.
Button signer.
Yeah, and I managed to link it to my Facebook, so whatever I put on Instagram goes on the Facebook as well. So you know, it's win-win. Got a website which is hilditchguitars.com, and YouTube as well. There's some very dodgy reviews of my guitars by me and my mate. Yeah, it's a bit of a crap double act, you know, a failed comedy duo, to be honest, if you watch it. But you know, we're not highfalutin and all la-di-da, so it's pretty down to earth. It's just, yeah, two blokes having a laugh, making fun of them, to be honest, with some nice guitars thrown in.
Good. As long as you're having a good time.
Well, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fun.
I think it puts pressure on the audience if you're too serious.
Well, that's it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. To be honest, we did have at the start. We did have some good feedback about people saying words to that effect, like it was just normal. It's not all cheesy and American and scripted. You know, it was just kind of down to earth.
I think people can relate to it better.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, my mate's a really good guitarist as well, so that's why I have him in tow. Because I can play a few power chords, and you know, I can do about 4 notes of the pentatonic scale, whereas he knows everything inside and out and knows all the theory and whatnot. He makes really nice sounds. I just go, here's an E power chord.
It sounds good.
Yeah, well, exactly, yeah. So you loads of distortion really loud, crank it, tug away, and then see how long you can, you know, make it sustain for. That's kind of what I do.
People that can't play the guitar, though, it sounds very professional.
Yeah. Yeah. The people that can play go, look at this idiot. Yeah, I had to give up on my dream of being a rock star. I was like, I'll just make them for him instead.
Oh,
Yeah,
you should practice more, see?
yeah, I know, but I'm too busy out in the shed. Can't have everything. I've got more natural talent than this side of it than playing it, so you know, we'll just push that side. We'll practice on that.
It's worth it though. They look amazing, genuinely.
Thank you very much. It does. You know, it sounds cliche because everyone says it, but it really does mean a lot when people say things like that. You know, every time, when you put a picture on social media, and every person that likes it, any comments or anything like that, it sounds cheesy, but it really does. Like, it makes you realise and sort of think that it is worthwhile. And I'm not just the only crazy weirdo who likes bizarre guitars. I'm not the only person in the world who hates Strat, which is always a bonus. You know, I always join in. If I see someone saying that they don't like Strats and Taylors, I always join in straight there. Yes, I'm with you. There's far too many of them in the world. Oh, look, here's another tobacco birch Strat with a white plastic scratch guard. Oh, yawn. I understand like why people like them and how good and whatever they are. Well, not how good, but you know what I mean? Workhorse guitars, but
Yeah.
God, it's bloody boring to look at.
Bloody-
What they are, aren't they? Well, you know, horses for courses. There's loads of people that hate my stuff because it isn't a strap, which is fair enough.
Well, yeah, you can't please everyone, can you?
No. I just want to find other like-minded, crazy individuals like me that like them, and we'll stick together.
I'm sure there's a lot more out there.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, well, finding more every
I know a
day.
few myself. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, anything you would like to add before we say our goodbyes?
I don't think so, to be honest. Apart from maybe that I will be at shows when they kick off again, hopefully soon. There's a chap that I got speaking to called Ken, who does Mojo guitar shows. Well, that's where I'm starting. I'd love to go to the guitar show at NEC in Birmingham every year, but I suppose them, and yeah, it's quite expensive to get a stall there, to be honest. So it's a bit above my sort of standing for now, but you know, that's the aim eventually to get there. But yeah, no, I got chatting to this chap called Ken, and his art more attainable to me, and he does quite a few usually, quite a few all over the country. So yeah, I'll be getting some of them, keeping it close to home initially. I'm sort of, well, I'm in Buxton, Derbyshire, so I'm looking sort of Crewe and Manchester area. I think he did one in Crewe, one in Manchester, and one I can't remember where it is, but Lancashire, a bit further up than Manchester, basically. So they're the ones that I'll be looking at initially. But you know, he does one up Cumbria way, I think, and further down towards Bristol. So if he gets more traction, I'll start spreading further afield, and eventually, hopefully, get the guitar show, and who knows, maybe at NAM one day. Go to America trip.
World tour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's do it.
Possible. Well, not at the moment, it's not.
No, yeah. Well, it's right. I think we'll probably, hopefully, be out of the COVID situation by the time I'm at the point where I can think about a world tour.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, how long do you think it's going to take me?
Couple of months.
Yeah.
As long as we're out of it in a month, then go.
Yeah, I am off. Booked it, packed it. Peter Kay said.
Definitely. Well, Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
No worries.
I'm thoroughly impressed.
Jolly good. I like to know that. Actually, do you know what? I will add here. This whole thing came about in quite almost a hostile fashion, in a bit of confusion between me and, is it your other half?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a misconstrued comment on a post on Facebook, actually, that almost got taken way out of context by us. And the next thing you know, we're like, yeah, let's do an interview. Yeah, sound. And friends on Facebook. So, you know.
I can believe that one.
What was nearly an argument became this.
I think that's the trouble sometimes, though. You know, well, especially now, a lot of people are contacted over social media and stuff. It's hard to
judge
gauge what they are, how they are saying it. Should I say?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's taken way too literal.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
you forget, don't you? You just read it in a certain way. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. So no, yeah, it was quite funny start, so. Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, I'm glad it didn't end up in an argument.
Yeah, I imagine that. It was only over a silly emoji as well.
Over and
yeah. You'll have to ask him about it.
I will. I'll get him to show me now.
Yeah.
I can't trust you on anything.
Yeah, yeah. Can't take him anywhere.
Bless him. No, he means no malice. I promise.
Yeah. I don't know.
Right. So, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
I'm going to bid our farewells
Sure, yeah.
and keep us posted on so people can follow you making
Oh,
the guitars on Instagram and stuff, can't they?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, subscribe on YouTube. There isn't a vast amount on YouTube. I am going to be doing some videos, sort of time lapse of me building the guitar build off one that I mentioned earlier. So there's going to be some videos of that. I mean, there are a couple of videos on there doing an inlay, sort of time lapse of me carving a neck. There's a few things on there, but I'm not, like I say, I'm not a massive technology person. I'm not really very good at that sort of thing. I'm not particularly, I kind of switch off when I'm doing it, so I can't do the whole talking as I'm working type of thing. I just kind of get it done. So yeah, I'm not massively watch button on there. So, yeah, everything website. There's clicky button things on the website to all the Facebook, Instagrams, and YouTubes and whatnot. But yeah, just Google me. Just get everybody Googling the Hilditch handmade guitars. Bump me up on Google. Let's do that. Everything's on there.
Algorithms, beat the algorithm.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I don't even know how to spell it. Never mind, beat it.
Amazing. So we'll pop all your links anyway, so people can just click on those.
Yeah.
Rather than.
Yeah.
It's even easier then, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, foolproof.
And yeah, thank you again.
No problem. Thanks for having me once again.